All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight is the 2025 Marvin Smith Memorial Finale at the Cottage Grove Speedway, and tonight's winner is going to be walking out of here with $4,100. Well, it's pretty special rolling into this evening to be the defending winner of the Marvin. Our team, we take pride in that, and we roll into this evening, wanting to defend the race. Welcome back to today's show. We're coming to you today from Cottage Grove, Oregon, on one of the most special days in all of motorsports. Now, this is a big sprint car race in the area, but in general, we had the Indy 500 today, Coke 600. There's big stuff going on with the World of Outlaws, High Limit. This weekend in general for motorsports, I think is just really, really special. There's a lot of genuine excitement about all the big victories that take place, and it just feels cool that we're going to get the opportunity to be on track. And here's a look at the quarter-mile bull ring that we're looking to tame this evening. Cottage Grove, it sure can be tricky. Last night we ran second, almost got the 18T parked in victory lane. It kind of came down to the last corner, and we just did not come out on top. And with us running on the podium yesterday, we actually don't have to qualify this evening. We are going to be automatically placed, kind of like how High Limit does it, second row outside in the heat race. We just have to transfer through to be in the top 8 redraw. So we got a good chance here to start up front in the Marvin Smith Memorial. 41 laps, totally a long race, and quite a few cars are rolling into the pit area. So I think we're gonna have a higher car count than yesterday and more travelers that have rolled into town. So time to make it happen. We are closing in on the start time. I'm ready to roll. I don't like sitting around, man. I want to get the action underway and get our race car out on track. Well, our first laps of the day are complete here at Cottage Grove. Since we ran in the top 4 yesterday, we just got a chance to do engine heat, ran a hot lap session. The rest of the cars that are here, there's 24 total, so 20, they went out and qualified, and us lock-in cars were straight into the heat race. So I'm going to be rolling off from 4th, second row outside. I just got to finish in the top 5 to transfer into the redraw. So it's pretty clear here. Do the obvious things right. Another chance for us to work on our race car and our package. I thought that we hot lapped well. The surface just has quite a bit of grip right now, so it's not going to be like later, at least I think. So just got a chance to go out there, go wide open, have some fun, and really again this heat race will be another chance for us just to see how we kind of fare behind other cars and if we can move around a little bit with what we got with the surface. You ready, Dad, for tonight?
Ready, let's go.
41 laps.
40 laps.
41
laps. 41 laps.
Again, just do the obvious things right here, moving into our 8-lap heat race, then getting that redraw and work on our drawing skills so we can give ourselves good track position for later this evening. Fourth to third in our heat race. That will lock us into the top 8 redraw. It's crazy how much more grip the surface has, and one of the factors I'm telling you is this cloud cover. Wasn't as warm today, had that cloud cover, and then I feel like they also probably had a little more water on the racetrack to start the night, so that means we got a lot more grip, and I don't know if it's gonna disappear here very, it's gonna hang around. I'd have to look at our lap times. We were stuck behind cars for a minute, and I just think that we were too tight in the heat race, so we're probably gonna free up a little bit for this dash. Of course, a lot of it determines, are we on the front row, we're gonna get the pole and get a 1, or you could get an 8 and be row 4. But in one of those heat races, I think a car still turned at 10.9. So just about right where they were in qualifying, even though it was all those laps later. So we're going to make a few adjustments. Happy with where we're at. Now it's down to my drawing skills and just hoping for the best. But no matter what, the job is still the same. We either got to come and pass cars, we got to start up front, keep track position, and set ourselves up to be leading the field to green for 41 laps.
A 2 for Kyle Alberding. Tanner Holmes finishing second last night. The Joker's still out there. Draws the 4. Provisional second. Speedway, winner last night, leading the dash tonight. White flag, one more trip around the park for Colton Heath, over Tanner Holmes, Luke Nidiak, Kyle Albert and Kinzer Cox, Tyler Thompson, Tony Gomes, into 3, out of turn number 4, Colton Heath gets the win.
So here's kind of a look at the racing surface from turns 3 and 4. Walking out here, still some pretty good dirt up top. It's just kind of dirty just because there's quite a bit of grip also on the bottom. Interested to see what kind of work they do. Our 41 lap race is up next. We drew a good pill. It actually worked out. So usually at the Marvin, they would do 1 through 4 and 5 through 8 from all the new guys that showed up to kind of like benefit the cars that were here the day before. And I think literally all the new guys, you know, this year they did like a 1 through 8 deal. All the new guys were 5 through 8 and all of us were up front. So that worked out. We got the 3, got a really good jump, got into second on lap 1, and then you know, kind of just paced behind Colton Heath, who won last night. Honestly felt like I was a little bit better, and even with the surface being pretty fast, I was more maneuverable behind him if I really wanted to try and pass him. Like maybe I tried to get close for a second and made a small mistake, but felt like I had everything I needed to be with him to where when we get to lap traffic, or just if he makes a mistake, I could have had a chance to go by on a narrow surface. And you can see, of course, a couple support divisions were just out here, but yeah, not using the whole track. Here comes the tiller right now, so maybe they're going to try to tilt the top, just kind of clean things back up. 41 lapper, I think the track's going to change quite a bit. You got to be careful. Like last night, I didn't really think the track was going to do what it did, and out of nowhere, it just got really slick and wide, almost like they're packing it right now, trying to pack it down, and that'll kind of do that. So we don't want to get caught in a spot we don't want to be. I think the main deal is just, you know, having your race car right where you want it, maybe being a little bit tight early, and then let it kind of come to you as the race goes on. But they got driver intros. Go talk with Carly. We'll make our final adjustments to the 18T. We're right starting where we want to be.
I don't think it's going to hold very long. It should be good.
I will make adjustments at the halfway.
Don't think about adjustments. Just run your race till then. Or think about it once we go red. Okay. Love you, bud.
Love you too.
Don't be afraid to drive hard. You might be able to. Oh, you're 26 down. 26 down.
Hey, car, so
15 to go, Tanner.
how's the top of the 1-2?
Top and 1 and 2 is really good. Just be careful not to hang so much off of 4 or off of 2. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Let's talk with our leader, Tanner Holmes. Tanner took the lead from Colton Heath here. Got several laps to go here still. What do you expect?
I think we just got to focus in and finish this thing off. You know, I feel like our car's really good. Just want to see green flag laps. I feel like no matter if we're behind traffic or we're in clean air, we got what we need.
Tanner Holmes looking to win this race for the second year in a row.
One another race in our regular weekend, 2 times, Tanner Holmes winner. Tanner Holmes, ladies and gentlemen, back-to-back Marvin Smith Memorial champion. It's got to feel good, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. No, it felt good too racing with those guys up front. You know, Colton got me last night, so it was nice to just, you know, I just had a lot more of what I needed to be able to attack him. And, you know, sometimes another situation, you know, we got the lead earlier than last time we won, but still, like, just better to be in second and search around and know where my car was good. And I just wanted to see green flag laps. I thought I could have lapped as many cars as possible. I just felt that good. So just big thanks to Carly, Tayzen, Mom and Dad, Krissa, my girlfriend, she's watching from home. Everyone that's involved is just really cool to get her done.
What was your thought going into this race? Colton Heath got out to a pretty big lead, and then all of a sudden your car came to life, and you reeled them in, and then the red flag came out. Multiple red flags came out. What was your thought process going through that?
Yeah, I think it's just key to not, you know, keep your composure. It's easy when you're in second or even when you're leading. You know, there's good cars here, right? You know, the two guys sitting here with me could have won this race no problem. So just, you know, really just know that, trust that, you know, we made the right adjustments just to be better, and then also I could do my job. So that's just what we train for week in and week out, and it just felt good to come home and you know, get another Marvin and, you know, add another name to the wall.
Carly, Tayzen, Carly, first off, what'd you feel watching the race?
Definitely nervous. I mean, the past couple nights going into it felt really confident, and then like things just kind of didn't go our way. You know, we wrecked cars and rebuilding, but I don't know, watching you out front just kind of was like, it's everything we worked for. You know, we built the car last week.
That car was a lot better tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I think there was a lot of things we did better. You know, we had more communication tonight, and the track kind of went in our favor tonight. And so, I don't know, I'm pretty nervous. You know, I'd rather just watch the final lap and see that we won than watching you lead, you know, 3/4 of the race. So.
For sure. Tayzen, how'd you feel watching?
I think running yesterday gave us a big advantage. We knew how the track was going to play out, and a lot of these guys, not a lot, but a few showed up just for today. But I think that's where we had the upper hand. We knew how the track was going to play out, and that really played in our favor.
Definitely. Thank you guys for your hard work. Seriously. Super incredibly proud of those two. Of course, Carly being my sister, she's been with me for this entire journey. funny. Tayzen, he just joined this year as our tire specialist, and has a great attitude and putting in the effort and wants to learn more about the sport. So got 2 young kids that we're just a young team, but we're going 110%. And Carly as well, first win as really our crew chief. I know we always said that before, but really now, making calls and watching the car, and she's just grown so much in the sport, and that's really cool to see, and us really tackling this together. So great to win the Marvin. What a race. I mean, really, I felt like I did a great job for all 41 laps, not getting ahead of myself. Got a good start, kind of paced behind Colton, and I felt like being in second, there was some advantages because I was searching around. He kind of got hung out to dry a little bit, I think, getting off a 2, and he just couldn't get through the slick. It was almost flip-flop. Tonight, I had a lot more grip, I think, and was able to find different lines and get by him on the bottom and really zip through lap traffic. When I was leading, I never felt a lot of pressure, but at the same time, that can be scary because you don't know where to be as the track changes. No matter what though, bringing home the hardware and $4,100, that's super helpful for our team. It hasn't been an easy start with tearing up some equipment, so that'll help us a little bit. But yeah, no, overall a great night, and there at the end, just with those last few restarts, it was key for me to fire off on the start. I was using the bottom throughout the middle of the race, but I had to eventually abandon that and just blast the top because felt like I was too vulnerable being down there, getting too slow. Had one bad start, and I knew that guys would be on me, so just had to execute, and I think we definitely did. And luckily things kind of cleaned up at the end of the race where I had a pretty smooth line and drive it hard, do my job, and park this thing in victory lane. And pretty cool, we got some confetti on the race car over there, so a night to remember here in Cottage Grove, Oregon, and back to back at the Marvin Smith.